Well, no giggles this morning for anybody. Hi, it's 5:14 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States of America, and it seems as though money flow has decided what it wants to do. And as we started to break quite a few important levels for all of us, we're coming into BTC USD, breaking the 55 days, of course, on the beta RSI chart that you're looking at right now. And I'll zoom out in just a moment, but I thought it was important for us to kind of get a heads up on what was happening in the shorter time frames so that you can get kind of used to seeing the fractal nature of how price develops and also anticipate being able to read the smaller time frames and being comfortable in doing so. Let me go ahead and make sure that we are live on YouTube. And if you're sitting on the sidelines there waiting for me to get started, it usually takes about 7 or, I don't know, it can take up to 15 minutes actually before everything is kind of sorted out on the YouTube. All right. You're live enough, and it still looks pretty good on the night mode. I think it does. Make sure. Hey, Jacob. Welcome. And we'll get the Nightbot started. And we just go with the rules and signals, and that kind of gets the time bot going. We'll see how that goes. Thank you for the thumbs up, my friend. I appreciate it. And like I said, it takes about 15 minutes or so before I'm able to sort things out, sort the windows out, make sure that the charts that I want to show are in good stead. And I've got some cool things to share with you guys today, besides the fact that, thank goodness, right, that we have, well, I'll just say this for myself, that I keep a very disciplined eye towards the names. And, so it does help. And I thought that it was kind of interesting that once we saw that double top, as a matter of fact, let me get my chart up on so you guys can see the 60-minute Ruby. I'll get that one kind of keyed up here. And you guys will be able to see it right now. There we go, and we'll zoom. Give it an hour. Let it up a little bit. So, as you guys know, we had built this amazing triangle, and we had put a big, blue, lovely blue balloon here so that we would understand that if it came through and it penetrated that we definitely knew that things were going to get a little dicey. And over the Discord, of course, I've been kind of hammering in the posts. And so I don't know where everybody stands with this break. It feels to me like there were some unprepareds. In the old days when we used to have, oh man, we had so many interesting people in the trade that I should probably make it maybe a different color. Let me see. I'm running out of colors, guys, right? Make that a bright yellow color, kind of a white yellow. And so we used to have, people that were known, Fontes, for example, or the big bears that were coming in that were destroying the market, and there was just no recovery whatsoever. But on this round, and I don't know if it's because there's more junior traders in the space, and so they don't know how to respond to these things. It's almost as though it's incredible that it could happen. But what we'll do today is that we will just see how strong this is. we're actually filling in an area. So, even though for the people that I know that are short, I'm glad for them, but I don't think that most of them probably are not even going to find wholeness until, 13,448. And then, of course, I have my line of 13,129, but it will be a full retrace down actually here. You guys can see me drawing that line. So anyone that was thinking that the short would take hold and we wouldn't get this recovery long, um, all said and done, when we move back and maybe 2 weeks from now, it will feel as though, oh, okay, I got it. I got a little 2018, first week of 2018 bonus. And now, of course, the way that money is, money makes money, right? And then money goes to do good for themselves. And so there are makers and takers in the trade. And so, they are able to use their prowess and provide enough, not only liquidity in the market, so it goes both ways, liquidity, but also volatility. And this is something that I think really needs to be discussed probably more seriously, is how do you become a really great volatility trader? How do you manage yourself and your emotions that are around it? How do you not overtrade? How do you take advantage of dramatic moves that can improve your bottom line? So what we have is a break of the 243. Okay, of course we had the ruby break, and we're inside of this incredible triangle. So the first line we're looking for is 14,901 if the 243 does not survive. 243 doesn't survive here. This is really dangerous. And all of these levels here, and it's not to say that I'm the only one with levels. There are lots of levels on the left-hand side that can help us determine where where price will register to just kind of stop and reassess. And market participants will come in and they'll also reassess whether or not this is a good value for them to then turn the trade around and go back long. So none of us, know exactly where those price points are going to be. Here's the 5 minute, for example, and let's move this out a little bit so that we can see kind of why in the world would it stop exactly right there. I'll bring the chart up a little bit. And I believe it's probably registering the 40 base. That's what I'm thinking on the 5 minute beta. So I'm going to move into the 15 minute, which is classically the chart that you'll see when I'm working on the beta. And what it is on the 15 minute is that this is the 20 base that it's picking up on. So this is as low as, when you're looking at fractals, of course it can go into the 0 base, but it's as low or the standard base for all of anti-Cardwell's work. So please understand this is a beta chart. This is something that's been worked on for many years, and we just keep learning and seeing whether or not we can actually move the settings to the price plot, and yet without complicating things, be able to give the modern trader a little bit more information. So that's why I'm very sensitive about showing it, but it's always exciting to see new things develop and so forth. So that's what's going on here. Down, down, down. The 20 base. Now, when we're on Ruby, the way that it's kind of registering is that we're getting some tension points at the 243. But on RSI, this is coming to a conclusion at the 20 base. We just don't know if it's going to drop down another level to the 100 base and then recover. However, between the 0 base, the 0 base and the 200 base, we can start to do that coiling effort, which actually literally acts as though, if you can see, we have one ledge, one smaller ledge. It'll get tighter, and if that gets tighter and there's not consensus to go long, then the price will flush. Okay, let me get back to the YouTube and see what you guys have going on here. And Wilhelm Jensen says to me, seems like the market has broken down. It only goes down from here on. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I find it very interesting. Wilhelm, how did you find my channel? Because I'm basically, one of the smallest. I'm one of those power pack channels, but I don't have the viewership. How how did you find me? If you don't mind me asking. And we have about another 5 minutes to let the stream kind of settle down, and then I'll start doing the promos out. I would love to see who comes into the stream. I really, really would. You know. Okay. Okay. Never mind any of that, and I'll let the Discord know that I'm live. There you go. And go over to these people. Okay. We have one subscriber. Let's see what we're going to do here. Let me go ahead and make you famous, I guess. Alrighty. We will put you in TimerBot. Wow, can YouTube get any more strange? Seriously now. Can YouTube get any more strange? It's like, I mean, does anybody realize that it's 5:30 in the morning for me? You know? And these are the people I'm making famous. Okay, there you go. I'm making famous there. And okie dokes. There you go. I've got a special place for everyone that wants to be famous now. It'll be exciting. All right. Okay, so let me go through some things that we've been working on that I'm interested in sharing with you guys. We started a little weighted basket that will run for a week, and we're just simply calling it the basket. And let me throw the post about that. There we go. And these are all of the tickers, and you can find those tickers over at CoinMarketCap. And it's a $10,000 weighted basket. And I worked on some of the Google Sheet math today and posted some things over at the Discord. And over the next, I don't know, 15 hours or so, then I'll start to work and refine the math a little bit so we can see how we're doing. But it is interesting when you decide on a basket. It's supposed to be 10 names. And we were able to, I think we got 8 altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So we're actually looking for 2 more alternative coins. We're happy to accept your ideas, and we'll just add them on. The all call was put out in the Discord, but right now we only have 7, and we need 2 more actually to make the basket a full basket. But it's a $10,000 USD weighted basket, and we have some very kind of just basic rules, and we'll be choosing 10 names every week, and we will keep the basket for a week and try and manage when we're making good wins, and go ahead and parachute out. And then it'll be an automatic parachute on the Sunday night. So it goes from Sunday to Sunday, and then we will see how we do at the end of our 3 months over at Discord. And it gives us a chance to put together some, 10 or 12 decent baskets for the time period. So that is what is going on. Then I'm over at Reddit now, so that should be interesting to see how that goes. And the Discord channel is looking pretty good. Still more areas on the permission side that we need to work out, but I'm pretty happy with that. And let me see what else I can say about things. Another thing I didn't do was Twitch. We did not get to Twitch this weekend. I'm going to be sending out my tweet here. And then today, I think what I'm going to do is put down more Litecoin and Ethereum. And I think I'll go ahead and add let's see if we can get all these in here. M3 and AVT. See here, and LBC. Melon and Recent and Modem. These are all very interesting companies too, actually, when you start looking at these. And I will tell you that the most difficult part is, I'll go ahead and get that out, is trying to build a Google Sheet or an Excel working with CoinMarketCap, because they name their, it's not just the symbol, which would be like over at CNBC or FinViz. Any legacy market, we always rely on the ticker symbol. We do not try and, create or, make our own way of accessing information. It kind of goes through a very narrow channel. In fact, the ticker symbols have to be, voted on and determined. But with CoinMarketCap, some of his addresses are directly related to the symbol, and then other times it's the full company name with a hyphen, or it's pretty it's inexcusable in some way, considering how massive the market is, that it would be that sort of personalized thing. But I guess some of the better coders are able to sort it out. For me, it's just a little bit of a nightmare that bothers me. But over time, we'll have 120 symbols in the Excel at the end of 3 months. So, we'll get there. And if I can do 120 in 3 months, it means that I could probably, get a couple hundred done easily in 3 months. So we can go through his library and make sure that we have all the symbols. But if you were over at the Telegram, then you would see a little cheat sheet that we've got going on. It's just a little copy and paste of what's happening with those names, what we bought the name for, like I said, the weighted basket map has to be worked out, and then of course with the current prices right now per hour. If you do it at the top of the hour, usually his API will pull something almost like 3 to 5 minutes after the top of the hour. So you get your updated prices that way. And I will even open it up so I can give a rundown of where the prices are. And then I'm supposed to do, and you know what, now that I think about it, I don't know if I was supposed to do Tron yesterday. It seems as though ever since the Discord situation happened, it seems as though it's more difficult. I believe I was supposed to do Tron. So I do owe those guys the Tron chart, or it's known as TRX. I'll make sure to get that out. And now that I think what I'll do is I'll shut down the Discord for just a moment so I've got a little bit more strength here. And okay, we're good. All right, so you guys kind of know what's happening here. This is the 60-minute. We'll go really deep inside so you can kind of see what it looks like on an interior level. And of course, the number that you want to watch is that as the current price is down here, as the price goes below the 15,382.16, we now know that the 243 is not going to hold up. And it's just going to get hammered. Maybe it'll be laced through for a little while until the legacy markets open, and then there'll be a determination as to whether or not they want to come in and maybe kind of save some things. But that's the blue line. Remember, Ruby was built on the 60-minute fixed, and so we can look at the 3-minute bar with certainty that all of the EMAs are standard to the 60-minute fixed, but yet we can go in there and see what's happening with the individual candles, which can be helpful. So that's what we've got going. We'll let that run for a little bit, and I won't go back and forth into the other beta chart, and we will open up the Google Sheet, and we'll run some numbers to see how we're doing with our basket, if you guys want to. And make sure that you thumbs up if you want to. Make sure that you follow the YouTube account, get notified. And the other thing is that if you do want to be involved in the Discord, it is only open January, February, March, and then we close down April. We've already endured one hack, and we survived it. We were able to get up and running in just, I don't know, 6 hours or so and redo everything. We did lose everything, every chart, every link, every piece of code. All of that was taken off of through the pirate troll that came in and decided that he wanted to have a little bit of ChartChatConnect, and he took it. So not only did he take the name down, so the new Discord is just simply called the BeautyBubble, and we'll just see whether or not they want to go after that. In the past, of course, I've had my website hacked. I've had my Twitter hacked. I have endured bannings, multiple bannings on multiple social platforms, and I don't know really what they're after. I don't even care really to kind of have a resolution to the why, but in all, like, this has been going on now for over 5 years, and no matter where I go with my material, with what I know, with what I want to share, they just come. And I think the most upsetting thing about this is that when they decide to take your property, when they decide to influence your piece of mobility, there's something in law called when you prevent someone from being able to have, peace and continuity in their life, you basically, kidnapped them and everything that they own. And then, of course, anytime that someone gets hacked, that is a threat. And, it just depends on, some people might not think it's a big deal, just the pictures of my charts. But there's a lot of discussion around them and writing about them, and, thousands of characters of text. And when they come in and it's all gone, I've had private chat where I was building up the guide. That's all gone. I've had that happen. Charts completely gone. And so that you know that a photograph is made of the chart and then placed in these social platforms. And then, and then when they want it, when they want to take it, they come in and they figure out a way to take it. And I don't, uh, I do believe that it's not even, it's beyond bullying because it's out and out to thievery. It's battery, it's assault, and it's thievery of things that that I own. And I own the right to have the freedom to use them at my discretion and reflect on them and write a book about my experiences. And so every time I try and go somewhere, they just follow me along. And I basically, I know who they are. They're the same hooligans that have been doing this to me since June 27th, 2013. And they're just a pack of, really awful, they're just awful people. And what I'm beginning to wonder is whether or not they really do understand the premise of Bitcoin. I could see it if maybe I was an Apple trader and I was out here and I was bashing Facebook every day. Maybe I'd get some Facebook trolls, but it's really hard for me to believe that Bitcoin enthusiasts, Bitcoin maximalists would come after my material. That's the part, most of the maximalists that I know, they're at a very high bar. And they're such at a high bar that you are not even allowed, to talk about anything except for Bitcoin. And in the history of my my outreach, the public side, it's all, even very rarely would I even go into the altcoins. And just the mention of an altcoin last year, for example, I got banned from another TeamSpeak server because I was talking about Steam. And I was banned because Dan Larimer is someone that people don't appreciate. But Dan Larimer is like a working professional person, and if he's up against scrutiny or, that people don't like him or whatever, okay, well, don't like him, but you don't have to not like me because I'm simply talking about, a business that he's building along with thousands of other people that are talking about him building a business. And the whole thing is just, to be told that it's SHIT and stop talking about it. And that's all SHIT, coin. And then, you look at Steam on the lineup and now it looks as though it's a standard of, the top 20. And so a year later, all I'm hearing about it is alternative coins. And so all that time is lost, that shaming and all of that, and thinking, well, maybe they're right, But then the market is dictating how this is all playing out, not a couple of guys in a chat room. And I just would like for people to understand that it's a big machine. Money is a big machine to get on and get involved with, and to over politicize or hate on other people and their projects is one thing, but it's a personal decision that people have as to where they want to put their money to work. And it has nothing to do with then banning me because I talked about Steam and Steam it. I mean, just think about that. All my chats, everything, all my pictures, all my chart in the box, all of that, all gone. All gone. It's not like I got a file that said, okay, we don't see the purpose in you being here, but here's your file. There's no walking a box. You don't get your work. And so with one click of a button, all your work is gone, and some a-hole just makes that decision for you. So that when I look at it that way, that was a personal decision that person was making. Let me tell you this, I'm just a lady on the internet, okay? That's all. I'm never going to walk through your front door and hurt you or steal from you or drag you through, the town, laughing at you and having people throw rocks at you. That's never going to happen. And so why can't you just be a guy on the internet, be happy with what you've built up, and understand that people are going to be interested in a lot of other things? And clearly the market a year later has basically shown that they are interested. And because the entire schema of the market has become extremely complicated, and maybe that's your problem. You don't want to learn anything more other than what you know. And I'll tell you what, this last weekend, spending a little bit more time in the alts and scouring through all the names and looking at the projects and looking at the teams. And, I'm not going to dispense what my opinion is right now, but, instead of, I got to read CVs, I got to see where people's educational standards were, I got to see where they were going with their product as far as the conference and the podiums and the discussions and the articles that they've written and all of this. Who are you? Why would anyone want to keep me from that kind of exploration and knowledge? Who in the world wants that for their community? Who wants that? And then when you know it, aside of the fact that they're racist, misogynist, pig-mouthed, screaming ear molestation and all of that, besides all of that, keeping me from learning with people that I know and I've known for years, and you just simply ban me, putting on this face that somehow I'm not wanted by the community. There's a guy out there that's actually letting people know that Barry Silbert and Charles Hoskinson, they don't want me in the community. They don't want me in the sector. Imagine that kind of lying bullshit, and it's allowed. And it's allowed. Keeping me from learning is wrong. Keeping you from learning is wrong. Living a standard according to, a magic mushroom fueled absolute clown from the very beginning, just so that you know, an absolute clown of a person. Every professional person that I put right next to him, it was like, what the hell what am I listening to here? And I'm going to tell you what, any professional that wants to be next to that clown is only there to build their own business. Their own business. It's called affiliate links. That's the only reason. Because I don't know any professional person that would sit around and listen to a foul-mouthed grown man scream obscenities in front of children. I don't know any professional person that would actually endure that and think that that was okay. And the reason that I'm talking about this now is that we don't have the 243 is holding court, and it's probably, we'll see what happens as the New York opens. So I've been told a lot of different things. I've heard a lot of different things about this attitude. And for what? For what? They're going on trips. They're having a good time. They're building their communities. They're making their affiliate money. And everybody's happy, right? Except for the person that got thrown out of the community for lies. That a couple of people would lie about me, and then I'm tossed out of these communities. And then having my own community, which I thought was really, that's the thing that I need to do, then the pirate trolls come in, because it's just not enough. You have to come in and take a Discord channel from me. And it's just not enough. It's this insatiable, ridiculous motive. Adam, I'll start to call you out. I'm going to call you out, and every day I'm going to post more and more in the SoundCloud and who you are and articles about people looking for you. People want you to show up, Adam, in Menlo Park and pay your dues instead of getting off on destroying other people. That's what you need to do. And a couple of others that I'm going to start naming out. You know, your chief economist, you know, who's a racist and a misogynist and a filthy mouth pig. And yet they're the chief economist for your project. You know. Not happy. Like I say, mommy is not happy. You guys need to start from the very beginning, your attitude about how you wanted to have things all organic, right? Remember that? Remember your little Mr. Organic? Got to have it all organic. When I said, listen, we're sitting on something that could probably be very successful, and it was organic with me. And then all of a sudden, OKCoin comes calling, and BitMEX, and Bitfinex, and they all came wanting to throw affiliate money at you. And all of a sudden, it wasn't very organic, was it? It wasn't organic then. But talking to me about something that I had birthed, all of a sudden it was organic. Where I actually, this is the famous line, okay? The famous line is, nobody wants you, you old bitch. I love that one. Bitfinex, BitMEX, BTC VIX. And what a wonderful person is. Now I hear that he's so fat and he's so fat and happy, and he's a changed man. Well, if he's a changed man, he should come out and say that he's sorry to me. That's what he should say. He created a relationship that will go on for another 20 years. The kind of damage that was done by people that are out there that still to this day have a cookie that's on their account and he gets paid. So that this whole affiliate thing is about to blow up. You think that the BitConnect thing, this whole affiliate thing is going to blow up in 2018, guaranteed. And you're going to see a lot of roaches coming out of the corners of these men's minds when they start losing out on that income. Clearly. Because I hate to tell you this, but not all of us, right? Not all of us in aggregate were great at this. I know that for a fact. The screaming out to go long. I put it on my chart. I put it on my chart when you were screaming, ear molesting people on the mic, telling them to go long, when there was no way in hell that that trade was long. And I've seen it with Charles Square over at ETC, telling people that the trade was short. And I was the only one in the room saying, guys, there's no effing way this trade is short. This trade is long. No matter what you say, no matter what you think, no matter what BS you throw into a friggin' chat room, you're wrong. And you're going to continue being wrong. And you're going to continue being wrong. Because you know what you are? You're a troll. That's what you are. In an important market that has no business with you at all. Has no business. And I'm going to warn some of the exchanges on who they're hiring and all the BS that I hear about the inner workings of these exchanges. And I'm sorry, I don't believe that it's okay. I don't believe that these exchanges, that it's okay that in a room of 700 people, you can have a customer service representative come out and say that your engine is shit, like that. And yet they're still making money. I don't know any business in the United States where you could actually come out and say, let's say a restaurant, and all you do is go out in chat rooms and just talk about how shitty the food is. I want to see how long they'll stay employed. So I'm going to be speaking to a lot more of the exchanges this year, because some of this has to do that when you honor and you respect people that are just pieces of shit people, and in your business, in your corporate business, there will be problems. Resurrecting that culture, that ecosystem, will be very difficult to do, because now they have the numbers. We're talking about, in one Telegram group, I heard 17,000 people being shoved down their throats, those affiliate links. They don't even have a chance whatsoever to decide not to go through the affiliate link. In fact, if you were to mention that you are not an affiliate, believe you me, you are going to be treated differently, spoken to differently, etc. So I've been in your little API of the Telegram bot. And so the whole idea and the whole loop-de-loop about that is just ridiculous. The warnings that people get when they want to just share with another member that happens to be there. The amount of control that these rooms have is obscene. Every trader should have freedom of speech, freedom of movement, free to keep their work as their own without any threats whatsoever to it being taken from them or arrested from them, etc. These men are not the police officers of our life. And what you think is funny, think about this in the future. Every time you laugh at a racist joke, and every time that you laugh about being able to call women filthy things, you really think about what that looks like on the chart. Where does it belong on the chart? Where does it belong in your pocketbook? Where does it belong when you decided that you want to go ahead and improve your life or go back to school or whatever? Where is it then? So this feeding and fueling of disgusting people that are inside of Bitcoin, disgusting people that are inside of cryptocurrency, because they've been allowed to proliferate and propagate. So in the last few days, I'm at the end of losing anything to them, of being burglarized. I was threatened with being swatted 2 days ago. Yes, in the live chat on YouTube. That's how bold they are. That is how bold they are. That's what they want to do to a lady on the internet who's been in this since December 2012. Okay, I've paid my dues. I have a vested interest. I'm vetted. And no one has the right to come in. I'm speaking really more for everyone else. No one has the right to take anything from you that builds and develops your knowledge about this trade. No one does. And everyone should have the whole freedom of speech, free to speak, everywhere they go. And there should not be people that find it humorous, to look inside of your P&L so that you can get a badge. There's this idea that, well, let me see your profit and loss statement to prove that you get to have a badge. That is an insult to your private information, your private financial information, so that you get a badge. And then it's a badge for a room that is fueled by hate, racism, misogyny, foul mouth, and most of the time the direction of the trade that is being called out is wrong. Because if it was right, everyone there would be happy, everyone would be cared for, Everyone would be giving back to their community left and right, and there would be no reason whatsoever to put anyone down. There'd be people that would be going back to school, building and developing families, opening up new businesses, if that was really it. So just think about that for a moment. If they were so good at what they do, why don't we see the good result? Why do we see the same old thing that is from a troll in, troll out attitude, which is let's destroy as much as we can because it's fun and they get something out of it. Look for something different. Ridiculous. Mhm. So stupid. Stupid. Okie dokie. Let's see here. All right, we've been streaming for an hour. Thank you for the 3 thumbs up. Thank you for the 2 thumbs down. Isn't that interesting? Got 2 people watching, 3 thumbs up and 2 thumbs down. Thank you to YouTube, of course, for being patient with us as we come into our 8th year. The end of January will be 8 years on YouTube. And we're going to keep an eye on this. As I'd said, it looked to me, when the New York market starts to come in, there's a little teeny tiny reversal candle down there right below the 243. The 243 is very difficult to get through. And of course, we knew that we were at the 20 base RSI on the beta. And so it's no doubt, I don't know if it's going to be short-lived. It seems like, there's a lot of hostility going on with the way I would describe it is that the volatility is demonstrating a little bit of hostility. The shorts are coming in, they're reversing the trade, they're going long. And so there's a little bit of a fight amongst, the people that know how to trade volatility. I think we're going to be studying a lot of that coming up in the next few months. If you do not know how to trade volatility, or if you've never traded a volatile market, but instead you've been focused on, over leveraging, margin, arbitrage, and all of these things, when actually you might be looking back and thinking, I should have been studying volatility. I should have been looking at other markets that are highly volatile, such as crude, the NQ on the opens, and that sort of thing, so that you can get a feel for volatility. So you can get a feel for it, that you know how to adjust your positions and your timing. I can remember in the early days that someone said because Bitcoin was a 24-hour market, that there was no such thing as timing, that there was no such thing as time of day. But well, of course, that probably is, it ranks up there in the top 10 most ridiculous things that a troll tried to convince me and everyone else in the room that was the truth, that no one cared about anything that was going on in New York. Nobody cared anything about what was going on in London or Tokyo. And, all that time is lost. And now all of a sudden you're made part of a market that's integrative of now the legacy market. And so if you lose touch with these standard rituals of an auction, then you're going to be battered and bruised. We don't want that to happen to anyone. Just get in there and start to study volatility. Look forward to more information about the basket that we're doing. As a matter of fact, before I leave, why don't I go ahead and let me get the Google document up. I'll get that going, and it's a Google sheet, actually. And go over. And go into the Google Sheets. And go into the, and I'll refresh. And we've got them loading because we're at 6:20. So we're 20 minutes after the hour. So the poll isn't all that great. But of course, we own Pura, Presearch, Aventus, Library Credit, Do, Melon, Decent, and Modem. Those are the 7 instruments that we own in a weighted basket, $10,000 weighted basket that we own for a week. And the selection process is a pretty kind of a standard selection process that we went through. And we owned Pura at 0.83. I'm sorry, we owned Pura at 0.5. We owned Presearch at spot 74121. We owned Aventus at $6.59. Library Credit at $1.09. Do at $7.17. Melon at $239.53. Decent at $3.13, and Modem at $8.28. And those trades right now are, let me see if I can get a current price now. The difference in, we are up in Pura, we are down in Presearch, down in Aventus, up in Library Credits, down in Do, up in Melon, down in Decent, and up in Modem. A little bit of a, a mixed bag as it should be when you're developing a basket of names. That's one of the reasons that you build one, is to have diversity, and also so that you're constantly learning. A little bit of diversity in price, of course, and of course we covered many of the different markets, being that there are so many altcoins out there, just massive amount of altcoins. If you want to see the cheat sheet of this, of course, you'd have to ask me for an invite over to come on over to the Discord server, and that's pretty early. Hold on. Okie dokes. And so the little bit of a cheat sheet that I have, I'm actually going to do a cut and paste of it right now and throw it over the Discord. And if you come on over on the invite, it's a one-time use invite, and you can kind of see what we're up to and decide whether or not you want to take an important role over there. And I'm going to be getting those numbers over to them in just a moment here. So thank you very much. As always, hashtag make money with beauty. Hashtag if you want a relationship with me, put it on the blockchain. And I'll see you real soon in the trade. Bye-bye now.